The Occupy Wall Street protests are on the move this weekend. In New York, several thousand people marched through the streets Saturday for a massive meeting to win new supporters. But it was a far less peaceful scene Saturday in Washington, D.C. Smithsonian police used pepper spray on a group of protesters who tried to demonstrate inside the National Air and Space Museum. NBC's Ron Mott is joining me now. He's here in studio. So, Ron, with a good morning. What went wrong in Washington?
Hey there, Alex. Getting very interesting. Smithsonian police actually had to close the museum down yesterday after clashes with protesters at the National Air and Space Museum. Now, the demonstration capitalized on the momentum from Occupy Wall Street up here in New York, but the message there was anti-war. About 100 to 200 people showed up to protest an exhibit on unmanned drones at the museum. This amateur video shows the commotion outside right when protesters were trying to enter. A museum spokesperson says the protesters were carrying signs and a lot of protest materials. You cannot bring that stuff into the museum under any circumstances. So when a security guard tried to block them, that's when protesters say they were pepper sprayed.
There was no warning. People were just maced, and apparently some of the cops have said to tourists that the protesters were the ones using chemical weapons, but we were not.
My shirt is now in a garbage can because it's useless, because it's covered in mace. I feel like I'm on fire.
A Smithsonian spokesperson says the security guard blocking protesters from entering the building was grabbed and pinned against the wall. He could not extract himself. Another security guard came over to help him and ended up pepper spraying one person. And one person was arrested. The museum is expected to reopen today. Anti-Wall Street demonstrators and anti-war demonstrators also teamed up in Chicago. This video is from a march yesterday in downtown Chicago. Protesters made a stop at President Obama's 2012 campaign headquarters. And back here in New York City, where it all began, demonstrators marched 2 miles north of their unofficial headquarters up to Washington Square Park in an effort to gain an even higher profile. And we're hearing today that there's an Occupy London effort in the works. Demonstrators plan to set up a tent city in London's financial district next weekend. So this movement is gaining some foothold.
Oh, yeah. The profile definitely getting higher. Okay, Ron Mott, many thanks for that.
Okay.